Hello and welcome to Module 4 of the Conscious Childbirth online course with Mami Amor Birth. Today we are going to take a trip into our relaxation consciousness. I'd like to invite you to find a comfortable position, seated position. You can lay down if that feels more comfortable for you. But if you can sit upright with your legs crossed, you can place your palms face up in your lap or together. Just take a moment to be in your body. Take a break from all the thoughts, all the worries, all the tasks and to-do lists. And just allow yourself to sink into your seat. Identify and become aware of any areas of your body that you might be carrying tension. And just command those areas to relax. Forehead smooths out all wrinkles and worry lines. Go away. Face, cheekbones, nose, mouth relax. Jaw loosens and gently moves downward towards third center as you release any tension in your jaw. Shoulders, neck, relax. Chest, back, abdomen, relax. Just command any of these areas that you might be holding tension to relax. Continue moving down through your sacrum. If you're holding any tension in your pelvis, feel free to move side to side to create some space if needed. Command this area to relax. Buttocks, thighs, relax. Knees, calves, shins, relax. Ankles, the tops and bottoms of the feet, and toes, relax. Going back to our shoulders, moving down to our rotator cuffs, relax. Upper arms and lower arms, relax. And hands are unclenched, smooth, calm, open, and ready to receive. Today I'm going to lead you through a guided meditation for labor and birth. Feel free to use this in preparation for labor or when you're in labor. We are going to visit a beautiful, lush, green forest where we hear the birds singing, where we hear our ancestors calling to us, sending us messages of love and support. And it is here that we will find peace as we journey through labor together. We'll start by taking 3 deep breaths in with your nose and a long exhale out of the mouth. another one. Last one. And with this last breath, you find yourself sinking even deeper into relaxation. I invite you to close your eyes if you haven't already. Close them gently and lightly. And as you close your eyes, I want you to picture in your mind's eye yourself in a beautiful lush forest, surrounded by trees and birds. You see a pathway that leads you to a beautiful creek with water flowing ever so gently. You observe the water, you gravitate toward it, and you find a comfortable position near it. In your mind's eye, see yourself in this beautiful environment full of relaxation, full of the beautiful aspects of nature, sitting beside this beautifully flowing creek. And it's here that we will find our peace in this process. As you continue with your eyes closed, your palms open, in a gently seated position, I'd like you to imagine a bright light that shines down from the sky as it makes its way toward the crown of your head. This bright light can be whatever color you visualize, but this bright light has power. It pulls you upward, elongating your spine, reminding you to sit up straight and expanding your body ever so gently. As this bright light makes its way from the crown of our head down into our temples, I invite you to visualize this bright light behind your eyelids. This light reminds us that we can always close our eyes if we need to disconnect from the outside world and go within. It reminds us that we are in control of our bodies. And if we need to shut off our visual senses at any time, all you have to do is close your eyes and visualize this bright light. As this light makes its way down our nasal cavity into our mouth, it moves into our throat and stops here for a second to remind ourselves that our voices matter. This light represents our voice and all of its power that it carries. It allows us to find the power to speak our truth, to ask for what we need, and to say no when necessary, unapologetically. This bright light is our guide, and whenever you second guess or question whether or not your voice truly matters, remember this bright light in your throat chakra, highlighting how very powerful your voice is, illuminating your truth and your power. With the next inhale, this light continues to move downward into our chest, making its way to our hearts. Here, this light illuminates our beautiful beating heart. And it's in this moment that we give gratitude for every thump of the heart, reminding us that we are truly alive, reminding us that every day is a new opportunity, and also reminding us of the beautiful person that we are carrying, whose blood moves through its own little heart, pumping in and out, just like ours, circulating this beautifully oxygenated blood so that we ourselves and our babies can be healthy. This bright light reminds us that when everything else seems chaotic, we can always go back to our heartbeat. I encourage you to place your hand on your heart and feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. Remembering to breathe in and out, you can form a rhythm to your heartbeat. Breathing in every so often, and out slowly as your heartbeat starts to slow to a relaxed pace. This can always be used in moments of need, in moments of panic. The next inhale, we're going to continue visualizing our bright light as it makes its way down, as Earth's center pulls it down towards our abdomen. I invite you to place your hand on your belly, where your uterus lies, where your baby lies. And if you have a partner or support person with you who'd like to participate as well, and you feel comfortable, a partner or support person can also place their hands on your abdomen with permission. And here I invite you to take 3 deep breaths in with the nose and slowly out with the mouth. Breathing in gratitude and love, and breathing out any worries or concerns. With your last breath, breathing in abundance, confidence, breathing out fear or hesitation. As this bright light engulfs our uterus with its healing power, its illuminating ability to shine a light on the amazing capabilities of our bodies. This light highlights all the power and strength that your body carries with it day in and day out. It reminds us of our strength. It reminds us of our resilience. It reminds us of our ability to not only create, but carry and sustain life in our wombs as child-bearing people. It is here that your child has chosen to nestle itself for 9 to 10 long months, or however long your child decides to stay. It is here that you've agreed and committed to house this child who has chosen you to be their carrier for however long they decide to stay. And it is here that we are reminded that even when we feel like we can control everything, it truly is the child who is in control. It is a child who decides when they want to join you. It is the child who needs to feel safe in order to make their appearance. So take a deep breath, deep inhale of trust, trusting that, acknowledging that, surrendering to that. And with the next inhale, we're going to continue moving downward with our bright light as it makes its way through the sacrum and the pelvis area, making a stop to bless the space and remind us how very unique our bodies are, to remind us that our bodies were created for this. Even our bones are capable of moving and shifting to make room for our babies. And it is here that many of us hold a lot of tension, a lot of trauma, a lot of shame and insecurity. And it is here today that we release that. With 3 deep breaths, I'd like to invite you to breathe in love and blow away any fear, resentment, abuse, trauma, insecurities that are nestled into your sacral area, and blow them away. Another deep breath. Blowing away any shame, blowing away anything that could be blocking this sacral and sacred area from your child's descent. One last breath. Blowing away any fear, any signs of distress, any tension. Being very intentional about commanding this area, our pelvic floor, to release. And I'm relinquishing all tension in this area. With the next deep breath, we are going to move down with our bright light. As this light parts into two ways, down our thighs, makes its way down to the knees, to the legs, into the ankles, and finally making its way down to the bottoms of our feet, the tips of our toes. The bright light moves from the tips of our toes into the earth. And as the light makes its way out of our bodies and into the earth, I'd like you to visualize tiny green vines that start to make their way out of the tips of your toes and start to implant themselves into the dirt below you. As you sit behind this relaxing creek in this beautifully green and lush forest, these vines anchor you to the earth, reminding you that you are part of it, and reminding you that you can always go back to this place of groundedness anytime, simply by taking your bright light from your crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, securing you down to the earth as the gravity of the earth's core pulls you back in times of fear, in times of question, and in times of uncertainty. I invite you to take this practice into your everyday life, moving into your labor and birth. And I wish you all the best in this journey.